Thanks for coming along today, Sam. So how have you enjoyed today's session with Wraith Music?
Yeah, it's been really good. Yeah, thanks for having me, man. It's been a lot of fun.
Anytime. You did a great job.
Oh, thank you very much.
So first thing I noticed about your playing style is that you didn't use a plectrum even with the strumming. So your fingerpicking style and technique, how did you develop that, and what artists kind of influenced you into wanting to perform fingerpicking style?
I don't really know. That was kind of a subconscious thing, really. When I used to play like heavier stuff when I was a kid, like jazz and like lead guitar, I always used to use a really sort of heavy pick. But yeah, in my own stuff, I never use a plectrum. It's really strange, but everyone always asks that, and I never really have an answer. I think it's just comfortable. Yeah, it's because I write on acoustic quite a lot, but now I use like pedals and loopers and things. I'm always going between electric and acoustic, so I think it's just habit. It's probably a bad habit, but it's, I like fingerstyle as well. You can get a bit more expression and definition in notes and stuff. But
so you touched upon the fact that you used to play jazz as well. Like, so what sort of musical genres and in general, how did you get into playing music and playing guitar?
My dad initially, when I was really young, like 4 or 5, he'd play us like Clapton and Hendrix and Zeppelin, anything by any like Jimmy Page or Hendrix guitar work I was like obsessed with. So yeah, exactly. So I was always really drawn to the guitar, and then I sang as well, and I'm still into jazz. I still love playing jazz music, but in what I do now, I guess I've just sort of taken on every influence I can. Like, I listen to everything, and I think in some way, even if it's subconscious, on some level it jurisdicts how you play, and even if you're not thinking about it, you just take on, you kind of everything, just you're like a sponge, what you take in you exude, I guess.
So with regards to vocals as well, who inspired you vocally in your vocal style? Anyone in particular, or was it just natural?
Yeah, there are a few. I mean, I really love any really great singer-songwriters. I mean, people like Jeff Buckley and Nick Drake, and Graham Nash is probably one of my biggest songwriting and singing inspirations. He's incredible. He's been in so many bands, and I think he's benchmarked so much in musical history. He was in like the Hollies and Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, and he's done solo stuff. But I think people like Jeff Buckley and Robert Plant, in just their range and their ability to go from like really low to soaring highs, I think it's incredible. And again, when I was young, that was just the most amazing thing to watch these crazy rock stars on stage with their mental vocal range, and I was just like, I want to do that. So those are a few.
So gigging wise, what was your first gig experience, and how did you get into gigging in general?
My first gigging experience was probably first proper gig. I was about 14, and I played in my village pub in Middleton, which is near Banbury, and it was really funny. It was just like, I was this fresh-faced, bright-eyed singer-songwriter guy with all these songs I'd written in my room, and I thought, this is going to go terribly. And then I, funnily enough, did some Zeppelin covers. Did some like Nina Simone songs that I'd just about learnt, and then tried to sing, and I thought, this is going horribly. And then it's when the first person comes up to me and says, I enjoyed that, good job. You kind of think, this is what I want to do, like just to play music to people. And we've toured the country, and I've had the chance to take music to people, and I think that's the most special thing, to be able to actually share a room with all these people just vibing off of each other and playing music. I think is the most amazing experience. So
when people ask you to come back as well.
For sure. Yeah, when you haven't scared them away. It's like, I didn't terrify you enough for you to invite me back. But it's things like that. Yeah, we've played. I've been lucky enough to play some of my favourite festivals as well the last couple of years, and some of my favourite venues from when I was younger. And it's cool.
How do you find playing at these festivals? That you say your favourite in comparison to like playing at a pub? What's any different sort of preparation for playing?
I think so. Yeah, it can be frustrating sometimes actually, because there's a stage, there's a barrier, like a physical barrier, and that creates a barrier between you and the audience. So
disconnect.
And I use like in-ears now, but it can be weird, compared to like a small. Because I actually love small gigs. We used to do this thing where we had people that came to the town I went to college in, and we'd play in like friends' houses sometimes, and that was just like a little acoustic thing, and that was really cool, because literally you've got people sat right at your feet while you're playing, and you can sort of get away with anything. But it's a big festival and the sound's not great. I think there are just different factors in every gig that change how you perceive it.
Did you, for these festivals as well, did you not have long to set up everything as well?
No, literally, it's like the sound check was the gig. So we got to, we did a thing at, there's a festival in London we played in Victoria Park, and it was literally just, you go on, techs have your stuff, you plug in and you play, and then that's it. Because you've sort of, you kind of hope that the night before your levels were set just right, and obviously using like pedal boards and loop stations, things can get knocked. So I think it's a worry, but I think it's like anything. I'm always worried about something or other when it comes to a show, but I try and make it as seamless as I can.
Just kind of talking about the downsides there. So best gigging experience that you've had?
Best gigging experience was probably, the best gig I've ever played probably was 110 Above Festival last year, because I've been playing festivals, and whether it's little family ones or things like Wilderness and Citadel Festival or like 110 Above. I've been playing festivals for ages, but that was just a really special day. Everyone was just like, we came on and we sound checked, and the first song we play is quite quiet, and then it builds up, and everyone was just silent. Like you could hear a pin drop in this tent, and that was really cool, just to actually get an audience.
Appreciate.
Yeah, just being that receptive, I guess, more so than appreciating it, because people could come and go as they please, and they all chose to sit or stand under this tent and watch us, which was pretty cool.
I'm right in thinking you're playing the same festival this year as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, 110 Above, which is cool. That's probably the one I'm looking forward to the most. We're playing with like Eliza and the Bear and people like that. A couple of the guys on the Communion label, which is cool. But yeah, it'll be fun.
So did you get scouted out for that festival, or?
Yeah. I was really lucky. I knew Michael, who was the organizer, like the promoter initially, through some friends, because it's what it's like in that industry. You know one person, and they coincidentally know like 10 other people so you've always got mutual friends. And I said, I'd love to play, not really thinking it would turn into anything, and he said, no, I'll get you a slot, let's book you in. So within 3 days I'd been bumped up, because it was initially just a support thing, and then he had a cancellation, so he moved me on to the Saturday. So I was on a train at 5 a.m. on the way up to Atherstone, and I was just exhausted, but the whole time thinking, this is really lucky. I've got the chance to play one of my favourite festivals. Okay, that was pretty cool.
So, finish off with this question.
Yeah.
On the topic of festivals, and just to get a little more insight into your aspirations.
Yeah.
If you could have, if you were putting on your own festival and had 3 headliners, pick dead or alive, artists, who would you pick? Okay,
I'd go. Well, Crosby, Stills, Nash for one thing. And everyone's going to go, of course you would, because I always talk about those guys, they're amazing. Jeff Buckley, because he's like, vocally, he's one of my favourite singers ever.
Me too.
And Nina Simone. Yeah, that'd be a good festival.
Nice range, yeah.
Be cool, yeah. And then we could all just do a little jam at the end, and for like 20 minutes. It'd be really cool. Yeah, that's probably my go-to trio.
Right, Sam, thank you for...
No, thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Appreciated.
Thanks, man.